Welcome everyone, and thank you for attending. As Leslie said, I am a member of Daybreak Toastmasters. So today I'm going to show you a presentation that tells you a little bit about what Toastmasters is, why I like it, and what it can do for you. And then I'm also going to give you an opportunity to experience what it's like to attend a Toastmaster meeting. I'd like to start today out with a question. How much do you think you are worth? Now, before you answer that question, let me help you out a little bit. At your job here, your worth is valued to you. You see it, you experience it on your paycheck, in your bonuses, or promotions that you either get or you don't get. At home, you get that from your loved ones, kids, spouse, parents, one-on-one relationships. And that can't be measured in dollars. It could be any amount. Usually it's a lot more than we would get paid for. But how about this? How much do others think you're worth? This is an important question because all of us think about what other people think of us. Sometimes too much. There's too much weight on that. But we do think about it. We think about what others think of us. Well, most people in this room will know this next gentleman. Let's listen to what he thinks about personal worth.
Right now, I would pay $100,000 for 10% of the future earnings of any of you. So anybody wants to see me after this is over. Now, if that's true, you're $1 million asset right now, right? If 10% of you is worth $100,000, you could improve the value. Many of you, and I certainly could have when I got out, if just in terms of learning communication skills. You know, it's not something that's taught. I actually went to a Dale Carnegie course later on in terms of public speaking. But if you improve your value 50% by having better communication skills, that's, you know, it's another $500,000, you know, in terms of capital value. See me after the class and I'll pay you, you know, $150,000.
You can improve your value 50% by learning communication skills. I don't know anywhere that I could do that, where I could just flip another 50% of value onto my life. But he's right, because when you learn communication skills, your value raises at your work, in your home, with your friends, in networking. What happens is when you start communicating better, people look at you and they see you differently. Now, how can you do that? What is available to you to raise your value and improve your communication skills? Personally, I'm in favor of using Toastmasters. And I'll tell you why. Before I became a Toastmaster, I spoke in front of groups. I gave workshops. I was comfortable in my own skin in front of a group. I didn't have what a lot of people consider a fear of being up here. But I attended a spring conference where I sat at a table with 8 other people I had never met before, and they talked to me. They did not hand me their business card, they did not glad hand me, and they did not try and sell me anything. What they did was ask me who I was, why I was here, and they told me a little bit about their experience with Toastmasters. In 1924, a man by the name of Ralph Smedley was working at the YMCA, and he had a group of men who didn't communicate very well. They couldn't get their projects done. They couldn't tell him what they were working on very well. They were shy. They were introverted. And he decided he'd like to help them. It's that attitude of help that Toastmasters still has today. I have never met a more helpful, generous group of people in all my life. Toastmasters love other Toastmasters, and they want them to improve. One of the main benefits of Toastmasters is to help you to overcome the fear of public speaking. I met a gal who had started in Toastmasters about the same time I did, and when I shook her hand, it was cold, It was wet and she was shaking. And she was practicing a speech and she asked me to evaluate. So we were talking one-on-one. And she said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'm so scared. Less than a year later, she was competing for the World Champion of Public Speaking at the Toastmasters Convention. Let's see what happens when someone is afraid on stage.
You alright? Are you shaking?
I'm really nervous, yeah. Sorry.
It's alright.
We've had Toastmasters start out that way. Public speaking is the #1 fear, even before death. Another benefit to Toastmasters is you get to learn to speak impromptu. Now, this is beneficial to anybody who works for a living. Someone comes up to you, asks you why this report isn't ready. Someone else comes up to you and asks you why you're over budget. Or you are preparing yourself for an interview to be promoted. All of those opportunities are where you're receiving a question and you need to have an answer. The better your answer is, the better chances you have of achieving your goal. This is Michael Bay. He's an American filmmaker. Looks confident up there with the microphone, talking to the audience, really on his mark. Watch what happens when his teleprompter stopped working when he came on stage, and then the MC asked him a question he wasn't prepared for.
Ladies and gentlemen, director and producer Michael Bay. Good afternoon.
Thanks, Joe.
Good afternoon, Michael.
How is everyone today? My job as a director is I get to dream for a living.
Michael, you know, you're known for such unbelievable action. What inspires you? How do you come up with these unbelievable ideas?
I create visual worlds that are so beyond everyone's normal life experiences. And Hollywood is a place that creates a viewer escape. And what I try to do is, as a director, I try to... the type is all off, sorry, but I'll just wing this.
Tell us what you think.
Yeah, we'll wing it right now. I try to take people on an emotional ride, and
The Curve? How do you think it's going to impact how viewers experience your movies?
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Michael Bay for joining us.
He couldn't answer that question. He didn't have the words in front of him. His teleprompter was his script. His impromptu speaking skills weren't there. One of the other benefits of Toastmasters is you learn meeting leadership skills. Now, this is effective if you have to be a participant in a meeting, or you have to organize one, or you have to participate as a meeting leader. Maybe your boss has stepped out and now you're in charge. Meetings are hard. Leadership is not hard to do, but it's much, much easier when you have the right skills. This is a quote from Kevin Eikenberry. He's the author of Remarkable Leadership. The most successful leaders bring both who they are with a burning desire to learn and improve to their work. They consistently try to learn from others without trying to be like someone else, because they know that who they are is an important but incomplete part of what they can offer as a leader. So he knows that you never get finished. You keep growing, you keep changing. And in Toastmasters, you can become a skilled evaluator. Now, I'm not sure how many of you in this room have to evaluate somebody, a student, another peer. If that is part of your life, you will do that better through Toastmasters. But think about it this way. Have you received an evaluation from a person above you? You will receive those evaluations better after being in Toastmasters because evaluations go both ways. You receive an evaluation for a speech, or you give an evaluation for a speech, and you learn from both sides of that fence. And it's great. It's a great skill to have. Now, what do you want most? A lot of people start out in January with resolutions. They've got ideas that they want to change something about them. I find that people, by and large, most people just want to feel good about themselves. Because once they feel good about themselves, they feel good about a lot of things. Everything sort of falls into place. People want to be understood. You want to be understood. And people want to feel valuable. Well, one of the great things about becoming a Toastmaster and going through the program is people see you as more valuable. You'll stand up in a meeting to give a report that you've given 10,000 times to the same people, and suddenly you have more confidence, and they're going to look and go, whoa, what have you been doing? Because you are going to appear more capable and more capable, more valuable. When you find your voice and you're comfortable, you're going to feel incredible.
Take it away.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger and endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the rose.
We've had Toastmasters experience that. Now, he did that on the same stage on the same day. Toastmasters do it through a period of 10 projects. The Toastmasters program is designed to help members achieve their goals by finding their voice, building on skills, and supporting each other. In Toastmasters, the top of the organizational chart is the member. It's the only organization I know that's structured this way. The district is underneath, and Toastmasters International, the nonprofit organization that governs this, is on the bottom. Toastmasters experience is priceless. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to show you what it's like to experience a Daybreak Toastmaster meeting. Daybreak Toastmasters meetings are in 3 parts. It's a morning club here in Santa Clarita. We meet for only 1 hour, and we do get it done in an hour. The typical meeting, speaking, people come up and give speeches, impromptu practice called table topics, and evaluations. Table topics is a practice of impromptu speaking. Someone asks you a question, and you answer that question in 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes, not very long. You actually can spend as little as 30 seconds up here and still qualify to be awarded a ribbon as the best table topic speaker. Now, I'm not going to scare any of you today. I'm going to call up, we have a couple of experienced Toastmasters in the room, and I'm going to call them up first. I brought with me a bag, and this bag has a lot of little goodies in it. There are little people in here. And I'm going to call people up, and I'm going to have them pull out one of these and pretend that that person is their relative. It could be a cousin, uncle, doesn't matter. And they will tell us something about that person. So the first person I'm going to call on is Leslie. Come on up. They're all different. So reach in the bag, don't look. And tell us about your relative. Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much. See? Wasn't that easy? I tried to make it easy so that you would understand that it's not as scary as it might seem at first. Michael, would you come up and do one for us?
Sure.
Pick a good one. Oh, no, don't look. Yeah. Table topics can be any series of questions and on any subject.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody want to volunteer to try? Okay, I'm going to call in Linnea at the back of the room for one more. It's okay, it gets easy once you've done it. Pick your relative out of the bag. We do it with pictures, we do it with questions. Thank you. Thank you. We do that because the more you do that, the more times that you do those kinds of things, you end up getting better and better at it. So when your boss comes up and tells you, I want to see what your numbers look like. Can you tell me? Don't go getting the paper. Tell me now what your numbers look like. You shouldn't freeze. You should be comfortable in your own skin and be able to speak. I love table topics. It's one of my favorite parts of the meeting. The third part of the meeting, I'm going to show you how that works too. You heard me give a speech earlier. I brought along a Toastmaster to do an evaluation of my speech. I'm going to sit. She's going to come up here and evaluate my speaking skills to you. Please help me welcome Linnea Millette. Thank you.
Thank you.
She is speaking from the advanced manual. Once you go through the basic manual of the 10 speeches, you receive recognition as a competent communicator. Then you have 14 manuals, advanced manuals, of which you can pick 2 free, because they come with your membership, to accomplish. And they have 5 speeches in them. Susie, one of the manuals she chose is the technical presentations manual. She's a tough and impressed at what Toastmasters can do to the presentation skills. You are one valuable teacher.
Thank you. Thank you very much. In evaluations, we teach that you don't whitewash or criticize. The weight of an evaluation has a little of both. You saw that. She gave me some points she liked. She gave me some points of improvement. The better you get at evaluating, the better you'll hear other people evaluating you. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks.